Buongiorno, Eric.
Ah,
Oh, me too.
oh shit. One big birria for each of the boys.
This episode is not sponsored by Ensure, it's sponsored by Budweiser. How's that first
And
sip feeling?
by Peroni.
Mm,
First sip is feeling nice and fine, Ty. This is an Alcoholics Anonymous podcast.
hmm Uh, it says on the can that it is both world renowned and the king of beers. I gotta say, I think they're right.
RIP Queen E. 'Cause
hmm
there's a king in town, Ty, and it's in the form of a yellow liquid.
Yeah, I never saw The Crown, but this is a throne I will watch.
Nice one, nice one.
Dude,
Uh,
this tastes so fucking good.
First good old fashioned American beer in the last 2 weeks because
Mm.
I've been out there in Europe and let me tell you, Ty, I didn't have a single lick of craft beer when I was out there.
Hell yeah, dude. That's what I'm love to hearing. Me, this is my third Buzzweiser in 24 hours. So I I'm on a Budweiser bullet train, baby.
Oh yeah, dude. You're on a Budweiser bullet train to Florence. we we haven't finished our discussion on the things I did
hmm
in Italy. We have lots to get through still. Um,
Eric goes to Italy part two.
yeah, I'm going back to Italy. I'm going back to Italy.
Mm, take me back.
Um, yeah, what do we talk about? We got through about a third of the things I wanted to bring up. Um, we can get into ice cream if you want, Thai gelato.
Yeah, let's talk gelato, Eric. I'm a big fan. I like Grom. I like I like the more chocolatey flavors, but I'm not afraid to get into some fresh fruit. What's your
Ooh,
gelato experience like in Italy?
ooh, a little sorbetto perhaps for Thai.
It's a little bit
Dude, this beer is so cold. I can't even hold it. I have to put it down.
amazing.
Yeah,
You'll never
it's
find a
so
beer this cold in Europe.
that's a fact. Beer in Europe is lukewarm at best, but when I come home to my ice cold buds, I have my fridge turned up to max. I don't know about you. But yeah,
hmm
dude, this thing is ice cold. I can't even hold it.
Yeah, dude. I like my
Um,
freezer so cold that like my ice gets freezer burned within hours of it freezing. I have to.
yeah,
I only can use fresh ice.
yeah. Much like the good folks over at Kisa Tanto, I have to like slightly melt my ice before I serve it, just to
Mm.
give it that nice little gloss on all sides. Um, but speaking of things that are too cold to handle, um, my ice cream adventures, Ty, were very consistent. I think I hit the same flavors every time.
You're a purist, not a tourist.
I'm absolutely a pure tourist, but uh, I would like I alternated between a strawberries and cream theme and a let's say like a chocolatey adventure.
Ooh, I like the
Those are
sound
my
of that
two
second
moods.
one. Can we double click into chocolatey adventure?
Yeah,
I'll
we
take
can.
chocolatey adventure for 500.
Yeah, absolutely. Sold to the hottest bidder. Um, Ty, there was a gelato place called Giolitti in Rome
Mm.
that I really liked, and my top flavor there, I don't even think was actually ice cream. It was really weird because there's a flavor called Nutella, and this thing is like room temp. I'm pretty sure it's just straight Nutella.
Really?
Yeah,
So it's called Nutella, and it tastes like Nutella.
I think
So
it just is Nutella. Like
it's
it's
just
not ice
Nutella.
cream. Yeah. So like I would get one scoop of the rice flavor, which is another deep cut, but then also one scoop of Nutella,
hmm
and it's just like you can clearly tell that the rice flavor is cold, but the Nutella flavor is warm, and you just kind of
Mm.
like swirl around and mix it all together, and then they even give you a nice little dollop of whipped cream on top.
Oh, that's actually kind of smart. It's probably like a little hazelnut hot fudge sundae,
Kinda, yeah.
maybe
I
like a
mean, you
rice.
get
It's
a
a rice pudding.
yeah. Do the rice flavor? I've had it in two different cities. Like Florence had one, Rome had one. The rice
Hmm.
flavor is like low key the best thing ever because it's kind of just like a tapioca and it's just like a
Hmm.
sweet kind of cream, you know?
It really is the bread of gelato.
It is. It's the sweet onion.
Yeah, it's the grain. That's
Hmm.
cool. I've never had rice flavored gelato or ice cream, but I mean, I've had rice pudding and rice cakes and whatnot.
Yeah, it's exactly like rice pudding. Just think about that as an ice cream flavor. It's that.
I'm thinking about that. So I'm thinking quite accurately about what you're saying.
That's good to hear, Ty. Thank you. So yeah, I had that quite a bit, and what was I gonna say about this? Oh, I had one in Florence as well, but and this made me realize a few things that the only real food artist, Ty, there's no such thing as a sandwich artist. It's bullshit.
Mm.
Okay, the only real food artist is the gelato artist.
And how come? You're gonna have
This
to
is
tell me
because
more.
this is because every single gelato place I went to, so much care and love went into creating every single gelato like cone that I ordered. Okay,
Mm.
like this guy would like massage it. I think he was also flirting with me, but he would massage the ice cream like multiple times and then do a nice little wrap around, and
Right.
then get hit it with like some more if there wasn't enough on there, and just like really take his time, um, blending the two flavors even in some kind of way. And
Hmm.
there was even one moment when he handed me the ice cream cone and I just said bellissimo, and the
Mm.
guy, he just looked so happy that I was like acknowledging the beauty of this um,
His work.
amazing, yeah, of his work, of this amazing little ice cream cone.
That's interesting, Eric. And I have two thoughts on this actually. One is it is probably more work than your average like fast food because it's quite physical, quite gestural to scoop the ice cream. It's hard, right? You have to really dig into it. You quite literally have to like rub one out of the ice cream bin and into the cone.
Hmm.
So, and then because of the nature of packing it in there, it's quite sculptural too. And there is no like future for sculptures. Like if you're a sculptor, good luck like getting employed, but you could reapply your
Hmm.
skills in the ice cream industry. It's
Imagine
kind of the
going
same
to a sculptor's dribble.
thing.
It's like I can't get a job, but I have this dribble profile and I have all my designs on there.
Dude, yeah, it's
Oh man.
50% like ice cream cones and 50% ice sculptures. Because those are
Yeah.
the only industry left for the modern sculptor is in frozen fluid. Isn't that
Hmm.
kind of weird?
Yeah, that's pretty weird. And that brings me to my other thing. There's a time element too. Like you
Mhm.
have to hurry when you're creating a gelato because like the longer you take, the more melty it's gonna get. And as soon as you like as soon as it starts melting, before you give it to the customer, you're fucked.
Mm-hmm. Because your shape is gone, your form's gone, you know? It's a race against time. Your time
Hmm.
to tongue has to be low, but you want
Hmm.
a strong integrity of form. So that
Hmm.
would be a really tricky balance to get a beautiful ice cream sculpture in
Hmm.
as little time as possible.
Hmm. It's also much like a Budweiser, best enjoyed quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Like you you have to eat it and consume it as fast as you can because if you the longer you wait, the soupier it's gonna get, and we don't like that.
So are you a cup or cone daddy?
Oh, cone always.
Yeah, same. It's so stupid. If they'll give you a cone for free, why would you take the cup? Because you can eat the cone. You just get more, it's more bang for your buck. You can eat the container.
You can eat the container, kind of like a bread bowl.
Yeah. It's like going to Subway and getting the salad. It's like they'll give you the bread for free if you just order that. You'll get more.
Exactly, exactly. And like the cone is, this is unlike a sandwich, but the cone, the container is at the bottom, so you don't even have to eat it. You can just eat the ice cream and then throw out the cone if you don't want
Hmm.
it. If you get
Decide
full,
later.
yeah, toss it out. But I love, hitting the cone and, taking some bites out of that thing while I'm still finishing the ice cream. I think it's, one of
Mm,
life's many pleasures.
yeah, it's so like tactile, like if you have a cup and you're scooping a little ice cream in your mouth with a little spoon, it's so delicate and limp dick, but with the cone, it's kind of barbaric almost because it's not just like finger food. It's not like you're holding. It's not just a handheld because you are holding the cone, but it's like a mouth hold because you're just shoving your face in there like like
Mm-hmm.
getting your face all ice creamed up, and that's
Mm-hmm.
really cool. Not very many foods you can just like dig your chompers in there, like lick around.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
It's quite
If you do,
sensual.
yeah, if you do that at Subway, like you might get the police called on you. You might be like on Fogel alert. Um,
Hmm.
but it is another thing where you're holding it and using your mouth.
Yeah, dude. And but like with Subway, you bite and then you probably put the sandwich down during the act of chewing. Wait, do you put the sandwich down or do you continue to hold the sandwich?
Dude, I never put the sandwich down. I go full like 0 to 100. Like even if
Kind
I'm
of
having a
funny.
burger and fries, I don't even look at the fries until I'm like 100% finished the burger.
Really. I don't got the
Yeah.
stamina for that, you see. I take a couple bites, then I take a break. And
Mm,
I'm a fast chewer. I'm like a chew chew swallow guy. Some people are like chew 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 for a while. Not me.
gotcha.
I'm just one chew and done. So
Mm,
putting the sandwich down forces me to pace myself.
Much like a guy with one leg, you're only one chew.
Yeah. I hope if that was off the dome, that's pretty impressive.
That was off the dome. But Ty, I think I think I'm in the minority here, but I have issues putting down food.
Mm.
Okay. And I realize I'm probably the freak here, but if I'm worried that if I put down a burger or a sandwich or a hot dog or a taco, any of these
Mhm.
handheld foods, that I'm gonna ruin the integrity of the food when I drop it. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? Commitment issues and control freak issues that I feel like it's my hands and my hands alone that are holding together the meal that I'm
Mm.
eating. You know what I mean? And if I put it
Yeah.
down, I have a high risk of, finishing it off with a fork and knife, if you will.
Hmm. I get that. You're concerned about the integrity, the structure of the handheld, and you think your nimble little fingers are the last like restraint keeping that thing together. See,
Exactly.
I understand where you're coming from, but I get concerned about it more mentally than physically. I'm worried that if I put a half-eating sandwich on the table, then mentally, all I will see is a half-eating sandwich on a table. And I can't think of anything less appealing than that, even if I know it's my
Mm,
sandwich.
yeah, exactly. Just two little bite marks in there. It's like
Damn, it could
that's the
be for
size of my
anyone.
mouth. Yeah,
Yeah,
true.
shit.
No, I 100% feel you. And then having to like re-engage with the sandwich because you've put it down and most likely you've hit your hands with some Aesop, rinse-free hand
Hmm.
wash, and maybe hit it with a napkin as well. And now that I'm clean and cleansed of this sandwich, I have the
Hmm.
opportunity to get out,
Totally.
and I might just take that opportunity.
But if you don't rinse your hands, then you may accidentally touch an even dirtier object, like your cell phone that you recently used on the shitter, or worse, the chair or table at your restaurant. And now you
hmm
have like germ-rich thingies getting all over your handheld.
Yeah, exactly. All that bacteria sticks to you because of
Hmm.
that sweet onion sauce. So, yeah, you gotta be real careful at Subway, man. But yeah, I don't like to put down my food because I don't know, I might have grown up poor maybe in a past life or something. Like I'm scared that someone might swoop in
Mm.
and steal my sandwich. Like even a pigeon perhaps could come by and put its dirty little claws on the top bun, and then even if I salvage it, I don't know if I want to touch that anymore.
For sure. As Drake says, he says keep the family close, but in your case, it's the French fries.
Yeah, exactly, buddy.
Ice cream's a funny one though, Eric, because ice cream is the handheld handcuff. If you get an ice cream cone, You are not even allowed to put that down. Good luck.
You're not allowed to
It's
put it down, and you're not allowed to look away from it because you have to be constantly like rotating it, licking the corners,
Mhm.
making sure that it stays in one piece.
Yeah, it's the like culinary equivalent of holding a baby, like a child.
It is. You have to support the neck at all times,
Yeah, you can't really take your eyes off it. So
Yeah.
it's funny that people love ice cream because do you think they actually just love the responsibility? Like a little
Mm,
little more
yeah.
responsibility than I'm used to here.
Yeah. Everyone wants to feel needed, Ty.
Hmm.
And I feel really needed when I have ice cream in my hands, and every so often it just like drips down, and it's like, lick me.
You come in with the tongue. You gotta. It's not very often that you something needs to be attacked by the tongue.
That's true,
Damn.
man. Well, yeah, ice cream, fuck, man, best invention. I think we had it like 3 times a day
Hmm.
in Italy, as you're supposed to.
Hmm.
Primi, secondi, and dolci,
Hell yeah.
um, all of the above. But
What else you got for me from Italy, Eric?
yeah, speaking of dolce, I want to talk about something near and dear to my heart,
Hmm.
and that is tableside tiramisu.
Ooh, I like the sound of this. Okay, I gotta tell you my biggest problem with tiramisu, Eric. And
Please.
that's every time I order tiramisu at a restaurant, I pay like 12, $15, and then they just roll up with a like jar of tiramisu that they clearly made 3 days ago, wrapped in saran wrap and hucked in the freezer. And I don't want that shit. Why would I pay $15 for freezer food? I'm always
Mm,
disappointed with tiramisu.
mm. Yeah, yeah, I can see where that comes from because that's just as good. Like a
Mm-hmm.
store-bought tiramisu is probably the same as what you're getting from the freezer at, you know, Olive Garden. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
But
I
Ty,
like the idea of having the food prepared for me. That's why we go to Subway. Like they put more
dude,
work in at Subway to make my sandwich than most tiramisu offering restaurants.
you're absolutely right about that. And this is why when I saw this on Instagram stories, I'm not gonna lie, I
Hmm.
straight up I was influenced, if you will, to go
Oh
here.
no.
And I immediately made a reso months in advance. This is before I had the Amex concierge service available to
Hmm.
me. So I had to make my reservation months in advance. But once I did that, I felt like it's game time, buddy, because I knew that they came around with a tiny little Bialetti, the 2 cup size.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, I got one of those.
I want to buy one because they're so cute.
They're
The two
so
cup.
cute.
Um, they come around with a little Bialetti 2 cup, a plate with lady fingers on it, and just like the coffee lady fingers, and then they do a little squishy squish with a nice wooden spoon straight from
Hmm.
Nona's kitchen.
Hmm.
Um, and then they layer on about a kilo of mascarpone cheese right on top.
Ooh.
Let it spray with some cocoa, and it's yours. They know what they're doing
Yeah.
because when he pulled up with all the ingredients and was about to start, he saw I had my phone out and he was like, "Are you ready?"
Mm. He's used to this. He's a performer, an artist.
Yeah, yeah. Imagine if the sandwich artists at Subway were like, "You ready for this?" Like, get
Dude,
your
can you
phone out.
imagine?
You're not gonna want to miss
Yeah.
this.
Holy shit, you roll up to the sauces and he says, "Yeah, you got to get your phone out for this."
It's like full disclosure, you're gonna want to document this experience. Like, oh,
Just like
thank you.
spinning bottles like drumsticks,
Mm-hmm.
rapid fire.
Mm-hmm. And this is why I'm pro security camera at workplaces, Ty, because
Mm.
when you're being surveilled,
Mm-hmm.
that's when you do your best work, I feel like.
Because you never know when like the CCTV footage is going to
Mm-hmm.
get reimagined as a TikTok.
Exactly. Gun to my head, I'm gonna do the best sauce game you've
Mm-hmm.
ever seen.
Hell yeah. I'll draw Mickey Mouse with that, and then the
Yeah.
sauce, whatever you need. You want me to
Dude,
write
I'll
Happy
fucking
Birthday in it?
dude, I'll fucking recreate the Sistine Chapel on your sandwich with a gun to my
Damn.
head.
Whoa, new idea. Get the sandwich artist to write a message with the sauce.
Bon appetito.
Will you marry me?
Oh shit. Dude, that one's for the ladies. Imagine you're just like serving up a sandwich for your girl, like open her up. And it's just a
Yeah.
mush sauce. Will you marry me? I wonder if someone's like proposed with a ring in their sandwich.
Mm. I'm gonna say yes because like we got some big sandwich stands out there, some Subway heads, um, and the challenge though is it's a high risk move. What if they go munch on it? You know?
Oh, ooh, yeah, it's risky for sure. And you got to probably plant it before you go to the restaurant, which is always
Mm.
a risk at a frontline worker establishment.
At Subway, it's extra tricky because you need to ensure you put it in one of the ingredients that the future fiance is going to order. So, like, if you decide to embed it in the tuna, you better hope that that artist is scooping tuna.
Hmm. Yeah, it's gonna be rough. Scooping tuna, you know, you're also watching them, so
Hmm.
you have to do it real sneakily.
Hmm.
Um, or you just like tell Bay like go to the bathroom,
Hmm.
and then I'm gonna tamper with your sandwich while you're in the bathroom. But again, I don't know how you pull that off.
Yeah, you need a mastery of sleight of hand.
Hmm.
Tricky, tricky business.
Tricky, tricky. But yeah, Ty, this was like one of the few times I've had tableside anything.
Hmm.
And it was so good. We considered going back to that same restaurant for just dessert, but it didn't pan out. But I think, next time I'm in Rome, when in Rome, I'm going to go
Oh,
back and have some wine and tiramisu.
do you
Maybe
remember
with
the name
you.
of this tiramisu establishment?
Vladimiro.
La de Miro.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll check it out. I'll add it to a Google map, and I'll
Oh
make
yeah.
sure to keep it on my list for next time. I love the idea of tableside tiramisu. It resolves presumably my biggest problem with tiramisu, which I've already shared. So it's incredible
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
someone like, damn, every idea has already been thought of. You know?
You're right. It blew my mind because for my entire life, I thought tiramisu had to sit. You know,
Mm,
whenever my mom makes it, it sits in the fridge overnight and it soaks up that coffee and alcohol and makes it
mm-hmm.
nice and soft. But I'll be happy to report that this tableside version was beautiful.
Did it hit differently though than your sponged up like mama tiramisu?
Um, it hit different in the sense that it was two layers, whereas like I think a traditional one has like multiple layers of,
Mm-hmm.
cream, uh, ladyfingers, cream, etc., and then like, whatever on top.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like it had a low profile. It was a low pro Sue.
Mm.
But yeah, I don't know. It was really good because like it had a lot of fucking cream on it, dude. This guy was like loading it on, and I thought he was gonna stop, but he kept going. He was just like,
Damn.
it's like, would you like some more mascarpone? And I think maybe he was waiting for me to say when. I was like, no, dude, keep it coming.
Joke's on him, like you can say when in Italian.
Yeah, exactly. I barely know how to say thank you.
Damn. So, question: was the Bialetti was the coffee was it hot or cold at time of pour?
Hmm. I think it was warm. It
Mm,
wasn't
okay.
hot. It wasn't like freshly made. There's a chance that they, Bialetti takes like 15 minutes to brew up. So they
Mm,
probably had like a few of them like ready to go, or maybe a big pot, and then they just like, it's not really in a Bialetti. That's totally a possibility.
mm-hmm.
I like to believe, you know.
Yo,
Um,
I didn't know this was a possible, but I was doing some research on Bialetti brewing practices, and best practice actually is to pre-boil water and put it in the chamber before you put it on heat. And your Bialetti will actually bubble and finish brewing in like 4 minutes, as opposed to
yeah,
like the 30 minutes. So I started
yeah.
doing that to save time in the morning.
So you're telling me that you boil water separately in your Lassi kettle, and then you
Mm-hmm.
pour that into the Bialetti, also
Mm-hmm.
made by a Lassi,
Mm-hmm.
and how do you screw it on? Do you put on oven mitts?
I need to buy some Alessi branded oven mitts for the act of screwing, but I don't know. I don't have screw mitts. I just use an old rag.
Dude, everyone knows when you get the screw in, you gotta glove up.
That's a fact. That's why my sandwich artist always wears a glove when they screw up my sandwich.
Oh fuck. So yeah, do you wear mitts? Because I can imagine the metal, the cast aluminum exterior of the Bialetti would get really hot immediately.
It's it's insanely hot, Eric. It will burn your hand so quickly. And every time, about 50% of the time, I forget what I'm doing and I still grab it. You get one of those,
Oh yeah.
oh, and then your fingers hurt
Ouchie.
all day.
You know what? I have a set of oven mitts at home, and I've like used them for years, and like almost no sign of wear has shown up
Mhm,
on the oven mitts themselves. That was until I used them to screw a hot Bialetti tighter because I put it on
mhm,
the stove and it was like bubbling on the side, and I knew that
mhm.
it was because I didn't screw it tight enough. And so I just like took an oven mitt and I grabbed it, and the oven mitt melted.
No.
Yeah, dude, it's like
Shit.
shredded because I grabbed a flaming hot like bottom piece of the Bialetti, and it's just like started sizzling in my hand. My hand's fine, thank God, but uh,
I'm not an oven mitt designer, but I feel like the only requirement of an oven mitt is that it can't melt.
I know exactly. You would think that would be like top of mind for oven mitt designers.
Are you sure you didn't mix it up with your Tom Ford leather gloves?
Dude, I wish I had some Tom Ford Tuscan leather gloves, but I do not, and I instead used this like old version I got from TNT probably.
Mm.
So it's probably still my fault.
Yeah, we'll blame you for that one. That's
Yeah.
rough, dude.
Yeah, it's fine though. But yeah, tiramisu was very good and probably the best dessert outside of like gelato, the gelato
Hmm.
sphere that I've
Hmm.
had in Italy.
Damn.
Vladimiro.
Wow, that's quite the claim, Eric. I'm really happy for you.
Thank you.
What else you got for me? You got any other
Uh,
hot takes from Italia?
yeah, well, I want to tell you about a lunch I had, Ty. I had a really expensive lunch that I am still recovering from financially. Um, this was in the Puglia region of Italy. We went to a cliffside restaurant. Okay,
Mm,
this restaurant is part of a hotel, and you take this like long winding staircase down into a cliff,
mm-hmm.
and once you step out, you're like greeted by the beautiful blue waters of the Adriatic Sea,
Mm,
and you see these like crazy waves smashing into the cliffs just below you.
mm-hmm.
And you're sitting front row for this, and it's just like the most insane view I've ever seen for like an alfresco dining environment.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you, I paid for it.
I bet. I believe I've seen this cave cliff restaurant on Instagram. It shows up in reels. It's always set to some dreamy bedroom pop track. White tablecloths,
Oh yeah.
contrasting hard stone ceiling,
Mm-hmm.
wine glasses overlooking the sea.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Exactly.
what does a meal there set you back, Eric? What does lunch set you back in a cave restaurant on the cliffside?
I'm almost reluctant to tell you. I paid for myself and Bay, of course.
Okay. Okay.
And after conversion, it ran me about 600 Canadian.
Gee.
So by far the most expensive lunch I've ever had in my entire life. And on one hand, I'm like reeling.
Hmm.
And on the other hand, I'm actually really proud of myself. I
Yeah.
feel like, this is an accomplishment. I managed to, spend almost four figures on lunch, you know,
Yeah,
getting
dude, you
there.
made it. That's what
And
podcasting can get you.
that's what Anchor will do for you if just fucking open up your laptop and hit up anchor.fm. Um,
But
but dude,
damn,
yeah, unbelievable.
600. Holy
Yeah.
crap. That you can buy an awful lot of Budweiser for that.
You could buy enough Budweiser to physically fill the restaurant with that much money. Um, But yeah, I instead was, you know what, kind of suckered into it. I'll tell you why.
Was it Bay? Did Bay drag you there into the cave?
Oh no, no, no. I dragged Bay there because I really
Oh,
wanted to experience this, and that's
oh,
why I
you,
felt compelled to pay for it as well.
shit. Did the server upcharge you on the truffle oil? What happened?
A surprise truffle oil charge. Oh, dude, I would have jumped right off the cliff. Um, no tie, and I wish I ended up like getting the recommended wine, which I didn't know the price of, and then
Hmm.
ended up paying way more. I wish that was the case. I wish it was that simple, but
Hmm.
I I kind of like committed financial suicide myself in this situation. Um, so what had happened was when you sit down and okay, so we made rezos. You have to make a rezo to go here.
For sure.
Um, if you no show for the rezo, it's 135 euros per person. So
So
you're
you best
already
be
like
showing up.
you're already fucked basically. As
Yeah,
soon as you click yes, I want to go here, you're locked into like taking out a small loan, you know?
dude. Yeah, there's a pyramid scheme here.
Yeah, exactly. So you can't like sit down and then look at the menu and leave. That's not possible.
No.
Um, but our plan was we went there for lunch because we thought, hey, listen, like the food's probably going to be like an 8 out of 10. Probably not worth the money, but good. And maybe we can go for lunch and like eat less
Mm-hmm.
and just like, get some appies and enjoy the view and have a glass of wine,
Mm-hmm.
which we wanted to do. But we sat down and after referencing the menu, which is just one page,
Mm-hmm.
um, very clearly at the top it says set menu. Everyone has to order this exact set of dishes.
Oh shit.
Or it's like you have to choose one, two, or three dishes, all of which cost the same amount. So you could get one thing and it would still cost you 200 euros.
Right. Wow.
So we're like, okay, I guess we're having a three-course meal.
Damn. You got locked into like the meal equivalent of a variable mortgage rate.
Exactly. I have to take out a second mortgage now after dining here.
Yeah.
Um,
So how did you feel when you read this at the top of the menu when they said that you now have to commit to X amount of dollars or you lose your deposit on this table? I guess
mm,
you obviously doubled down, but what went through your mind?
well, Ty, that's exactly what went through my mind. I was like, I could leave and take the loss, or I could just double down, spend only a little, you know, have the meal and enjoy the view. Um, I was kind of choked. I had to clarify. I was like, so this is the only menu you guys have? It's like only a set menu. Like, yes.
Right.
See. Like, oh,
Mhm.
fuck. Oh, okay.
See.
Yeah, so me and Bay just decided to get different things and we shared and we had a four-course meal in the cliff. It took about 3 hours. We were there for a long time.
Damn, well, hopefully you got your money's worth of ocean viewing. That is
Yeah.
obscene though, Eric. If I were you, I would have employed some tactics to try to get the price down. Maybe a little bit of complaino about the entree, or I've
Ooh.
heard that if you like choke on the meal, like if you or fake choking, they'll usually give you a discount or a glass of wine for free.
Hmm. That's really smart, and I wish I thought of this in the moment. We could have also plucked the hair and like just dropped
Mm-hmm.
it into the cacio e pepe and
Mm-hmm.
like I don't want this. Like that would have been really smart. Didn't think of that in the moment. Didn't want to like look cheap in front of Bay.
Mm-hmm.
So you know
That's
what?
fair.
I said, you know what? Fuck it. Let me just
Social
send it right now.
suicide. Social suicide is way worse than financial suicide.
Exactly. It was also like extremely windy. I don't know what it
Mm-hmm.
was, but there was like 2 days on the trip where there was like a windstorm almost. And
Damn.
so like we asked the hotel to bring us blankets and we wrapped ourselves in three blankets each at the table. Um, and then once we did it, there was like a like avalanche or like snowball effect where like every other table started getting
Mhm.
blankets because they saw us. They were like bright red blankets, and everyone
Damn.
else got them. So we were kind of trendsetters in that way.
Yeah, but it also sounds like you remind me of the all the people hoarding gasoline at the beginning of the pandemic with three blankets on your body. Hurricane Eric is blowing into Italy.
Hmm.
You, Sorry, folks. Eric has all the blankets.
Yeah, exactly. Um, didn't regret it for 1 second, I'll be honest. But yeah, good lunch, honestly. Probably one of the best lunches I've ever had, but came at a price tag.
No kidding. Wow.
Yeah.
Um, I envy you. I wish I could spend that much money on lunch. If only I was given the opportunity.
Oh, I can't. I can't. Um, yeah. It was a really stark contrast from another lunch we went to, Ty, where there were like it was like a table of like 10 people, five of which were like under 6 years old.
Dude, they got crayons on the table.
Yeah, full crayon. Literally they had toy trucks on the table, and I was like so pissed. But then I realized like, oh, it's like in Italy they don't hate kids, you know? Like in America, like we hate our
Hmm.
kids.
Hmm.
But over there they celebrate children. And I just like that was that was culture shock for me.
I wonder if like the toy trucks are fun for the kids because there's no trucks in Italy. They don't see trucks. They only drive like Fiat 500s. So I wonder what it's like as an Italian bambino to play with a toy truck.
Mm. It leads me to believe that the truck is actually true to scale.
Yeah, no kidding. They have no clue.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's tiny, but that's because they are tiny.
There are tiny trucks over there. That's so funny. I always
Yeah.
wish that Subway would offer me some crayons and at the table because it's supposed to be a creative space for the creative class to come. And why does the creative thinking have to stop at the sandwich?
Oh shit. You're so right. It's kind of like at Montana's when the whole like tablecloth is just a
Hmm.
piece of paper
Oh
and
yeah.
they hand you like a little plastic cup with like used like half are broken, but they're like all like random crayons and you get to draw like dicks on the table.
Dude, I've been there. I've done that. It's pretty funny. Get the
Oh yeah.
word cookie. The
Dude, the skillet cookie, don't even get me
this
started.
damn. Montana's is onto something with that thing. Subway should serve their cookies to stay in a piping hot skillet from the toaster oven.
Oh, dude, they for sure have a cast iron back there somewhere.
You know it's kicking around. But can you imagine like you're like doing a business lunch at the old way and you are trying to explain your roadmap for the fiscal year to your client and you just pull out the lime green crayon, sketch a little bit on the counter or the table, and boom, bam, sign some contracts. Maybe the contract you've drawn onto the table itself.
Mm-hmm.
Subway's now a business center, baby.
Mm-hmm. Bite here.
Mm-hmm. An epicenter for business. That's what they could
Yeah,
have if they just brought creative thinking to the counter.
you're absolutely right, Ty. I miss the days of, being able to draw on the table and it being
Mm-hmm.
acceptable, whether it's like with your little key and just carving in like TY plus E,
In a little heart.
little
Now,
heart.
you're telling me you don't pull out your Jaune Sharpie and scribble a little Eric was here every time you're at a Michelin star restaurant?
I do so in the bathroom stall.
Mm-hmm.
I also light up a cigarette in there. That's one of my favorite ways to leave a mark in a foreign country. Just abuse the bathroom.
Mm-hmm. What's really funny about bathrooms is that in like restaurants is that you know how sometimes people like to open nice restaurants in gentrified areas, common practice.
Mm,
You can
Subway.
never exactly. You can bring a nice restaurant into a bad area, but you can never bring the bathroom along with it. The bathroom will always be a reflection of the street outside. If you have a nice restaurant in a bad area, you'll have a bad bathroom. If you have a bad restaurant in a nice area, you'll have a nice bathroom. Because the bathroom represents the people.
Wow,
It's the
you're absolutely
people
right.
space.
Yeah, because people leave their mark, like quite
Mm-hmm.
literally. Like, if it's like a nice restaurant in a bad place, you're gonna have people with like luggage just like
Mm-hmm.
storming through the front door and like going straight to the bathroom and then like shitting on the walls.
Mm-hmm.
And the only way you can avoid it is if you have a doorman.
You didn't have a doorman. Yeah. It's
Mm-hmm.
that's just service 101.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. The shittier the neighborhood, the more secure the bathroom is too. Like you either
Mm.
need a passcode or like a physical key. Like most Starbucks where I live have this feature.
Hmm.
And like it really sucks as like, a high earning person to live in one of these neighborhoods because I can't just use any bathroom willy-nilly. I have to buy a doppio espresso.
Hmm. Yeah, you eat way more croissants than you want to because you just need to take a leak. You know what I've been really annoyed with in public bathrooms lately, Eric, is Dyson has got this new hand dryer that you
Oh
dry
no,
your
I
hands
hate
in the
Dyson.
sink. You know the one where you dry your hands in the sink? Doesn't
The
make any
worst thing,
sense.
the worst fucking invention I've ever had. The
Stupidest
fucking
thing ever.
airport in Rome has that. It's the worst shit ever.
I hate it so much. Like, what step are they trying to eliminate there? Like, if they want to like make one central piece of equipment, why don't they just stick your hand right in the toilet bowl to dry them and wash it? Like,
Yeah, stick your hand in the
why?
toilet and press flush, baby.
Yeah, why stop at the sink? Like, it's so dumb. I'm so angry with Dyson. It makes me want to throw away my vacuum and my V6 and throw and protest the company.
I know. I totally agree. It's like, for one, the air, the air phase of the
Mm-hmm.
hand cleansing process just ends up spraying all the water on your chest. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? All the sink water that's right in front of you ends up on your, you know, a mirror button up.
Mm-hmm.
But
Looks
that
like I
alone,
pissed myself.
exactly, it looks like you pissed yourself. And if you're waiting for somebody, you got to wait for somebody to like soap, rinse, and dry their hands all
Mm-hmm.
at once versus just rinse.
Yeah, it doesn't keep the line going. There's a bottleneck now.
Exactly. That's why I stopped washing my hands in post-COVID reality.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're not too far from like getting rid of the sneeze guard too.
It's gonna go away. And I don't
hmm
know. I kind of like the sneeze guard. I like the separation between myself and the service class when I'm in a service environment.
I can't wait to just like walk into a subway next time with you and like knock on the glass, but like, so when are we getting rid of this thing, eh?
Do you think they ever would? Do you think, like, in a post-COVID world, they would completely remove the sneeze guard, go completely al fresco inside?
I think so. It's gonna be a wet market in there, baby, because
Wow.
it's time for an overcorrection, and I'm here for it.
Hmm. It is the pendulum swings both directions, right?
Hey, you know what? Today, Ty, actually, big news in Daddy Trudeau's land.
Hmm.
There is no more Arrive Can, I believe.
Yes, I heard this. They've eliminated all the Canadian-U.S. border restrictions for travel, so we can
Yeah.
the anti-vax again. Their freedom
hmm
protest worked.
They did, yeah. Shout out our truckers, man. No Arrive Can, no testing, I believe,
Hmm.
or no like vaccine requirements, even if you're flying. So, dude, thank God. Like honestly,
I don't know. I kind of like them, Eric. I like that knowing that. Like, I get so nervous now on planes that whenever someone sneezes next to me, like I'm gonna get COVID. I'm like, oh fuck, why did you have to sneeze during this 3 hour time period? It's like you couldn't hold the
mm,
sneeze for another 45 minutes.
yeah, because in the age of COVID, everyone's automatically sick, and so we have to
Hmm.
protect ourselves from everybody.
Exactly. Which is honestly a good way to live. Like, you have you seen most people, Eric? They're disgusting. They don't even wash their hands in the bathroom.
Most people are disgusting, and I'm one of those people. COVID just brought my hygiene up to like where it should be. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but you're like a sleeper disgusting because you're like got all these nasty ass habits, but you smell amazing. So it's really hard to tell. You're like the
Thank you.
Subaru of gross people.
Like a rich skater.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Well, I don't know. I'm happy that it's over. I flew mask off to
Whoa.
Italy and within Italy, and let me tell you, it was bellissimo, Thai. Not having a
Like,
mask to interfere with the noise cancellation abilities of my AirPods Max felt
mhm.
incredible. And yeah, it's just amazing. The only time I had to wear it was the Air Canada flight back
Mm.
from from the layover spot. to, beautiful Vancouver, BC,
Hmm.
but at that point I was just knocked out, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, dude, flying mask off is the way to go. Being mask off in Italian airports also underrated.
I bet, yeah. I do like the idea of no plastic or elastic bands around my ears, messing
Hmm.
with the echolocation of my AirPods spatial audio.
Exactly.
That's a big W for me.
Exactly. Bands should be on $100 bills only, and not around my ears.
Yes. Wow, Eric, I learned a lot from you today. I feel my heart is full, my stomach is empty, my
Mm,
palate is craving yet another Budweiser, and I think it's time for me to sign off and dig into my Friday.
dude, I am so excited for you, Ty. Um, I am debating, going out tonight. We shall see what happens.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, looking forward to the weekend and catching up with you on Tuesday.
That's a fact, my king. We will continue the sequel of Eric in Italy Part 3 come Tuesday. Maybe we have like a six-part series at this point. I think we got through probably like two of your talking points today.
It is a Netflix special at the end of the day,
Hmm.
a short series, but it's worth it, I think.
I think so too. Lots to catch up on.
hmm Thank you, breadheads, for listening. Sign the petition. Bring back the falafel.
Hmm.
Okay, link in the description. Uh, Follow us on Instagram.
Hmm.
Don't worry about Twitter. It's not
Hmm.
really important to us.
Hmm.
Um, what else, Ty?
Support your local way.
Yeah, ask if they take Amex. They'll
Yeah,
they'll say no.
but that's how we change things, right? That's
If
how we
enough of
change
us
things.
ask, then they'll eventually change their ways. Same with
Yeah,
the
they'll have
falafel.
to. So make sure to sign our petition, please.
Yeah, that's probably the most important thing out of everything we just said today. So, arrivederci.
Arrivederci.